Today I'm going to make a pressure cooker recipe here. I'm going to show you start to finish how I do it. The only thing I have in here now is 2 tablespoons of butter over medium-high heat, and I put about a teaspoon of olive oil in now. I got about, I had a half an onion here. You can use whatever you want. I got a carrot just diced up. You can see right there. I'm going to put them in the skillet. I did have it preheating for about 3-4 minutes. Now that that's in, I can kind of tell you what's going on and what it is. After I put that in, I also have 1.5 cups of rice. So I'm going to put that in there. And what actually I'm going to make is a rice pilaf in a pressure cooker. It's really fast, it's really easy. I had 2 tablespoons of butter. I put a teaspoon of olive oil at the bottom. Now on the top here, I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil on top of the rice I poured in, and that is uncooked rice, just plain old white rice. And what you want to do now is stir this. You want to make sure it doesn't stick or anything, and you just keep stirring this 2 to 4 minutes. And you're keeping it on medium-high heat. That's all there's really to the beginning part here is your carrots, onions, and the rice. Now you can add anything you really want in at this point for veggie-wise. Even something as hard as a carrot will cook down perfectly cooked as long as it's diced and not in big chunks. Now one thing on carrots I see a lot of people doing wrong is if you're cooking with carrots, the only thing you should be really doing is cutting the ends off if you want, and then washing it. Do not peel a carrot, okay? Because it'll cook down, you won't know it's there, but you'll get a lot more nutrition in the carrot. I mean, most of the nutrition to most veggies are in the outside skin. That's the same thing with an apple. If you make a smoothie or something with an apple and you're blending it, and you need a powerful blender for this. Now I got a Vitamix, so I luck out. But if you have a powerful blender, it depends on who you talk to. I've read different reports, but if you take the nutrition apple as a whole, okay, the whole apple, the total nutrition, the core part that people don't eat, and here's where it depends who you talk to, is 90-95% of the nutrition of that apple. So you're losing almost all the value for the apple by not eating that. So if you're making a smoothie or something, you're blending in, throw the whole apple in and just blend it up. And you really won't know as long as you got a powerful blender. The little $20, $30, $40 blenders probably won't do it, but if you got a little more expensive one, it probably will. So same thing with the carrot. You put the carrot in, do not peel the carrot, just dice it up and put it in, but wash it. You can put celery in here. You can put anything you want. We've added corn in here before. You can add almost anything you want for a veggie in here, but for a simple rice pilaf recipe, I just use onion, some carrots, because I always keep carrots on hand, and your rice. So, and the big thing you're doing here is you're probably going to want something, a non-stick. Well, most pressure cookers are non-stick. I've never seen one that was, you know, the Teflon or something, which I wouldn't want. Make sure you have a metal or a hard stirring device. Basically, you do not want, let me show you here, like a soft spatula. That won't work. Stuff will stick to the bottom with that. So basically all you're doing is you're stirring, and this is a real fast and easy recipe, and it's really good. What you're doing here now is you're not trying to brown the onions, you're just trying to soften them and translucent. You know, you're sweating the onions a little bit. And this part's pretty important because I've noticed I did it one time before without doing this. I just dumped the stuff in and there was a flavor difference. So you can see it's just about done here. So that's about all you do. Now, The only other thing you add is 2.5 cups of chicken broth or chicken stock. And all this I use is, most grocery stores have it. This right here, now this will be in the Hispanic food aisle. It's the Knorr, chicken flavor broth. And it's bulk. You can use the little cubes, but this is like the cubes, only you're not peeling. And I think this has a little more flavor than those little bullying cubes. Now, I don't add, that does have a little salt in it, but this recipe, I think, needs a little salt. But that has a little salt in, so that pretty much does it for me. I just put it in here and I just whisk it real quick. So I'll just make sure it's not stuck. And what I do when I pour it in, I pour it over my spoon just to make sure. And then I go over it on the sides. You don't have to do this, but I do. I just make sure most of the rice is down below. With the steam action in there, they'll fall down in the boiling. Now, this is all you have to do right here. We'll turn the heat up a little bit. This is it. It's all you have to add. Your rice and the chicken bouillon. But the onions and the carrots add a lot of flavor. Now, that is a really easy, simple side dish, and I'll tell you what to do next. But if you want to make this a meal, very easy. Right here I got some ham. Anytime we make a big ham, the leftovers the next day we'll eat. Then after that, what I do is I portion up in smaller amounts and I vacuum pack them, throw them in the freezer. And this was just part I portioned out and diced. Now I'm going to add that to that. Now you can add that if it's frozen, okay? If that's frozen in there, that's perfectly okay, but you're probably going to want it diced. Now it doesn't have to be diced, but it's just easier to eat later. But if it's frozen, it will not affect this cook time or anything, because they'll be thawed by the time it gets under pressure. So with this pressure cooker here, this is my everyday pressure cooker, okay? A lot of people ask me what kind it is. Let me see, this is, it's kind of wore off. Rapida, R-A-P-I-D-A, I believe. And this is, I believe this is 1.5 gallons, a 6-quart, and this is my everyday pressure cooker. If you guys look at my other video, I got this one, I got a Canyon one, and I had electronic one. I never used the electronic one. I used it once. I gave it to my mom. I just never used it. So this is the one I use. And this one here, I put the pressure on the top, and then you got the vent, and here, and then you just slide this up right here to pressure, and what happens is a little yellow thing that'll pop up when it's under pressure, and this will not be able to go down. So what I'm doing now is I'm waiting for this to come to pressure. Excuse me, guys. Once this comes to pressure, okay, you cook it 5 minutes. That's it, just 5 minutes. It's really quick, it's really easy. As long as your ratio's right, the 1.5 cups of rice and the 2.5 cups of liquid. Now you can use beef if you want to use that. You can use vegetable if you want to use vegetable. Any kind of flavoring you want. I made it one time where I had some tomato powder, and I actually made some inside the chicken broth. I added about 3 or 4 tablespoons of tomato powder. So it had a little chicken flavor plus a tomato flavor. It was actually really good. And I think that would really be good with your ham or your meats or something like that. So it's super easy side dish or a meal. We make this quite a bit as a meal, just throwing some ham in like this, and it's a meal. And this pressure cooker is easy to use. That's why it's my everyday one. You can get these on Amazon for $40 to $60, and you can see it's already under pressure. It's already under pressure, so I'm going to put the timer on for 5 minutes. That's it. That's all you do. And once it comes the 5 minutes up, I will come back and show you what you do next. I wanted to show you this. Do you see how it is starting to steam up this top pretty good here, very hard? You want to turn the heat down at that point. That is a safety valve, so this doesn't explode like the old ones would. So turn it down, but you don't want to turn it down so far that it loses its pressure. I keep it under high when I start, and then I turn it down to around a medium-high, or between a medium and a medium-high, if that makes sense. So just above medium a little bit. But every stove is going to be different. You can also use a pressure cooker over coals if you have a charcoal. If you lose power, pressure cookers are great to have because they don't use a lot of energy. If you have a grill, you can just underneath here put some charcoal, not directly on it, you know, but put this in your grill just barely above the charcoal, and you won't damage it, and you'll heat it up. Now, it's hard to regulate the heat. You'll have to move it on the heat and around the heat a little bit, but it's a great way to do that if you want to use your grill if you lose power or something. Okay, it's a couple minutes into it. I'll get back to you as soon as it's done. Okay, the timer just went off. It's been 5 minutes. That's it. So I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to take it off the heat. Now, you do not want to, you can turn this to quick pressure release it. This recipe, you do not want to do that. Here's a great thing about this recipe. This will take actually probably longer to bring down than it did to cook it. It'll probably take 5 to 10 minutes to bring it down. But here's a great thing about this, especially if it's a side dish. You cook it, you get it, you set it to the side, you can leave it pressured for 20, 30 minutes and it'll stay really warm while you're making your other meals or anything like that. So that's a great thing about this. Take it off the heat, and then if you're having this like for dinner like I am right now with ham, perfect. You just take it and you just do your other stuff and you come back and it's ready to go. So all you do now is this one, when my little yellow lever here drops, depends on your pressure cooker, read your instructions. And if you have different settings, you want it under high pressure. Some pressure cookers don't really tell you, but they give you a low, medium, or high, or low, high, or something like that. If you get a choice, do high. But as soon as that yellow drops down to my little plunger, which means I can release this green, it's ready to go. So that's all you do for this point. Just take it off the heat, turn your burner off, and just wait. So as soon as it's done, I will get back with you guys to show you what it looks like. Okay guys, it's done. It's been probably about 15-20 minutes. I had a business call I had to take. So that was actually good. So you can still see how hot and warm this is after it's been a little while. Now this pressure cooker, I can now release this valve because that little yellow plunger's dropped. And when you release it, when you open any pressure cooker, don't open it up like this so the steam comes to you. Open it up away so the steam goes away, okay? That's it. You can see how hot it is, and it's probably been about 20 minutes. Give it a quick stir, loosens everything up, and that's it. And you can see right here, I'm trying to get some light in here so you can see, but that's it right there. I'll put some in a bowl here. Actually spilt a little trying to show you, but oh well, clean that up. And this is going to be dinner for me, so that's it right there. Really simple, easy rice pilaf recipe right there to make. Easy to do, anybody can do it as long as you got a pressure cooker. So like I said, you can add anything you want to this. It's just a base recipe. So you get good, really good side dish and really good main dish if you add something else. You can have it as a main dish without any meat, obviously. What I do a lot of times is right at this point here, I will add some hot sauce. What's really good is that homemade hot sauce recipe I made in another video. I'll spoonful some of a little bit of that on here and it adds a whole new flavor. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any other pressure cooker recipes you like, let me know so I can try them. I thank everybody for watching, and I'm sorry about the delay in videos here. I've been going from morning to dark 30, so but that's going to be slowing up here a little bit because I told you guys I'm not going to go again about my past videos, what's going on. So that's it. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for subscribing. If you have any questions, please leave them down below, and thank you guys. Have a great day.